So, for the film poster, my magazine cover and film poster is set in order to resemble the genre in such a way to link to the classic genre conventions within the 1970s to the 1990s, yet incorporating more of a contemporary aspect in order to make it more suited to the recent audience age group and gender in which it's aimed towards. So within the the two pieces of print media, I intended to incorporate a range of conventions in order to make it as pleasing toward the audience as possible, especially in relation with the genre and the possible expectations of the audience and what they would actually want in order to feel satisfaction from the film itself, but in this case the actual trailer to attract them to see the film. So the conventions which occur and which I feel hold suitable relevance within the genre would be the use of gun props within both of the pieces of media, therefore justifying the genre as being violent and including context of murder and crime, therefore linking greatly to the crime genre and the crime in which the characters get themselves involved in, therefore enhancing the intensity and action expected within the genre at a certain point, especially in more contemporary media texts such as this. This is not only to link the film toward the genre, but is also to used in order to link the two pieces of publication together, allowing the audience to relate the two and feel equal interest within both the publications. Conventions to consider are extremely helpful to look through when considering the mise-en-scène, especially with the overall look and features of each publication possibly being distinguishable with the use of costume, linking in with the conventional factors of other media texts and other texts from within the genre, which I hope my ancillary products actually did. So the use of props within the film poster from 2006 as shown to the left, and my film poster both complement the conventions of a crime genre film, displaying the use of guns. Also, within the 2006 poster on the left, there is another prop to suggest the two sides that the characters are stand aside from, good and bad sides of the law, determining the idea that the character on the left side is a criminal as opposed to the police detective standing behind him, but possibly suggesting his lack of power when in contact with the criminal, or the way that the criminal himself is being protected and backed up in the good side of the law. Within my film poster, the same occurs, yet in this case each character stands on one side, suggesting the two sides of the law, yet with another character implying that loneliness and vulnerability isn't much of a factor when it comes to each character's protection. This adds more toward the film, determining the film as being a potentially large storyline, incorporating different characters measured to determine the goods and bads of society. Each character, similar to the poster shown, is suggested as having differences, therefore adding a new theme toward the film. And similar to the actual character who is deemed as actually having less power in contrast to the actual the actual criminal to the left of a poster. Within my poster, Sal, who's on the very left, he's actually hiding behind Detective Dwayne, reinforcing the fact that he feels lonely and he needs a form of protection after being outnumbered by the two twins, by the set of twins who are out to hunt him down and potentially kill him. So now the colour scheme that has been used, I feel that it fits the convention of many crime genre films, notably toward four other films within the genre from just to give specific time periods, 1972, 1982, 2006 and 2015. These different time periods in which the films have been released in suggests how frequent this convention is and possibly will be used regardless of when the film has been made or will be made. So the colour scheme used within crime genre film posters, from what I know of, are usually or more mainly white, black, grey, red, yellow, brown and blue, or involving different colours or just a certain amount of what was mentioned. So from the two posters that have been shown, including my own, it incorporates four of the colours used from other film posters, therefore fitting the conventions of a crime genre film poster. The way in which my poster challenges the conventions of the media products would be the way the characters don't fit into the background with their costumes. In the poster to the left, the character himself and his dark costume fits into the background, so they actually fit into the background, possibly implying that he himself finds it easy to hide, in this case from the other side of the law. The character appears more mystical, suggesting him as being secretive, yet with the use of a pistol, violent and extremely aggressive, and able to pop out and surprise people when he wants to willingly. This fits the conventions of the stereotypical male, especially within the genre. The film poster creates an effective tone in creating harshness from the sinister-looking characters involved. My poster, I hope, does the same in inquiring the fear and intenseness from each character, especially from the non-verbal communication, expressing true intensity and, in a respectful way, a lack of giving up due to them feeling extremely determined to feel their need of justice, even if that includes killing one of their best friends. Which also brings greater levels of seriousness to all the film and its context. It's helping to attract the specific audience members that would actually view the film. The text of the film poster looks mature and adult-like, I feel, linking it to the maturity of the film, its characters, its themes, and the actual audience of being 18+, especially the male primary audience. The text is white, standing out from the darker background and looking as though it was once clean, later dirtied with the spillage of blood due to the assault of loved ones within context, and those who are vulnerable, implying greater violence of the actual story itself, within the actual story itself, The blood across and within the text suggests how the character Sal, who is the rat, is in danger, conventionally supporting the genre as death and violence involvement of the characters will occur, therefore adding to all the expected adult-related themes. And the fact that there's blood on the actual text of rat, it may imply, or possibly even foreshadow, that the character who is the rat will, as Carlo and Antonio Fibonacci would possibly say, he would receive his own justice, in their case, revenge. Now, the star ratings, a lot of film posters nowadays, it's hard to say, because a lot of them, they would incorporate star ratings to attract a wider audience, but I'm trying to think of when they actually use it within crime films. They definitely do it, but I don't know the frequency, but I definitely know that they do with more recent examples. Now, especially nowadays, star rating and reviews would be included within the posters in order to gain greater awareness and recognition toward the film and how it may be acclaimed or highly regarded by critics. Through well-known websites and companies, also publishing reviews and the public audience themselves. The poster on the left, there we are, it is from the crime genre film Bugsy from the year 1991. Not only does it include these star ratings, but it also shows nominations and reviewer quotes in favour of the film, giving the audience a greater chance to want to watch the film, knowing of its very good reputation. This not only fits the convention in which I was trying to use in relation to many film posters within many genres, but this helped me to identify that it does happen fairly often within the crime genre and isn't necessarily the most new of things, if I had to say, bearing in mind that this film is over 20 years old, fitting more with the contemporary audience and the expectations of actual critical acclaim within the films themselves.